winter's gone away. Oh, Alan told.
Tune in to International Pagan Radio. You can hear your favorite artists such as Dave the Bard, Tuatha Dea, Spiral Rhythm, S.J. Tucker, Murphy's Midnight Rounders, and many, many more. Join us for exciting shows like Ask a Witch and Storytime with Rook as well. www.internationalpaganradio.com on the net or on TuneIn Radio on your mobile devices. Join us on Facebook and Twitter too. International Pagan Radio, all pagan, all the time.
Welcome back to An Emerging Forest on the Spiritual Unity Radio Network. We hope everyone was able to stretch their legs and get a drink. And now, back to Alan.
So, Dave, are there any other memories or things that were in the festival or things that happened in the festival that you want to talk about?
I would like to do that, but I would also like to make sure that I give credit to some folks who, without their assistance, would not have made it as spectacular. And one of them is my friend Akineli Karade. He was there 19 years ago when we installed a peace pole that said, "May peace prevail on earth." And he's followed me through various old traditions or old versions of Kindred Spirit Fair, the break. He's done things on my property when I lived in Somerset, and then when it came time to recreate a different version of the festival, he was my first webmaster, and he blesses the earth. He brings people into focus. And so in that case of memory, I was running late on Friday, running late to your own festival. But I had to actually go to the township and get that final check-in and, and get the signatures and then receive the permit. So I trusted people who were helping with early vendors, making sure there were sheets on the bed, where do you camp, where do you park, all those things. I had a crew, some of them from the last 2 years, some of them just 1 year, some of them new, and they all coordinated. My ground crew was able to get them going. My friend Ren, he was able to bring everybody. I don't know much about Excel spreadsheets. I can fill them in. Creating one I haven't done yet. And he had it ready so that we knew who was on what time of the schedule. I had my friend Lori, and she managed the cash box last year. She did an impeccable job. And then there was this woman, Martina. Martina absolutely blew me away because she has been at Mount Eden in other capacities, and I didn't realize how much she really knew and loved this property. But she actually made sure that everybody found where the room was, checking in with me to make sure, is this person legit? Did they pay? Blah, blah, blah. She was a positive bulldog, which we needed. And she did it with grace. And while I was, finding out we still need this or we still need that, I don't know why I was running out, but it was already out to go to the township. And so by the time I got back, I could see and feel that we were already settled in. And it gave me an opportunity to unload what I needed to do, go home, pack my own clothes, because I hadn't done that yet. I hadn't packed my own clothes, take a quick shower, get into my, my drumming clothes, and have some fun. And I came back, and as I came back, the opening ceremony was just starting. And I could hear these flutes from South America giving this wonderful, beautiful sound. And then they were joined by Leticia, who, using a frame drum and singing to it, a seed is a star is a seed. And she repeated it, and we started singing it. And as we grew, we were supporting it. Everybody was swaying together. Everybody was feeling the vibe. Everybody knew we were going into this weekend for something very special. And we did. And after that's when we went to hug the tree. And while they were doing that, I went and ran and got the peace bowl, because the peace bowl had fallen down because the base had rotted, and I grabbed it and I brought it up. And when we parted from the tree, I said, all right, you guys, we're ready for our night concert. Follow me. And made a parade with that peace bowl on my back, and people still were chanting and vibing, and there was this wonderful energy that we were already there. So that's magic number one. Another magic was one of our vendors sold drums, Conrad, and he started somebody started an impromptu drum circle, and a friend, Julia, was joining on flute, and people just started dancing. The whole roadway was filled, and we have a video of this. People were absolutely in their ecstasy. They were having such a good time. They felt it. We had gone through a weekend. This was on Sunday. We had shared so many emotions and meals and hugs and all these energies together. And they felt this moment of relief. Man, I'm so glad it was captured, because it was just, you had people who might not normally dance. They were dancing. It was magical. It was nothing less than, there was a spiritual energy. There was a camaraderie energy. I saw vendors watching each other's spaces, so maybe they can go to a workshop or something. I saw people trading things. Hey, I've got a shirt, you got candles, whatever it was. The vendors told me that it's one of the happiest festivals they've ever gone to. And they're not kidding. I've got testimonials coming out. People still writing about it. Only thing I'm still a little worried about is, where do we take it? Because we can't let it go. We have to be responsible, not ourselves responsible for ourselves, yes, but not ourselves responsible for everybody. Because this festival is not about Dave Miller. This festival is a festival of ideas that is shared in workshops. When we do the planning, everybody's got their piece now. They all understand the energy, and their ideas are different than mine. And we try them. If they work, we'll do it again next year. If they don't work, we'll say, well, we tried it. But being able to bring in some really novel ideas. Here's another one of the moments. About 10 days before the festival, a friend, Mirabai Moon, posted that she had bought a Paul van, and she was going to create this as her tiny house because she's on the road a lot. She's a traveling musician. I said to her, well, we could get solar power on that. And she's like, really? I said, we did it with Dandelion last year. People did it as a group. I said, you let me call Olga Scher's husband, Alex, and see what could be done, because it would be great to build your van over the weekend. People would get to see the different parts. Maybe they didn't know about electric. Maybe they never saw holes drilled in and bolts attached. Maybe they have just the whole phenomena of solar baffles most people. So to be able to see us doing a modern-day barn raising blew my mind. On Sunday, as I was walking by, people are gathering. They're asking questions. How does the battery store the power? How do you know which way to hook it up? There were very easy questions and some difficult questions, and Alex handled them gracefully. And the people that were supportive, whether they were on the ladder, handing stuff up, on top of the van, drilling the holes, it was an energy that simply because I suggested it to her, it happened. Within 10 days, not even listed in the advertising, we created solar power for somebody to be that much more self-sufficient. And then on top of that, we had a sponsor that was giving away a solar shower. And the person that won the solar shower turned around and gave it to Mirabai because he wanted so much to see her van off the grid. I never would have expected that at a festival. I never would have expected that kind of energy where people came together, participated, watched, or otherwise, asked questions, and everybody walked away like, we can do this.
Something a really cool thing to witness, to see that the van get solarized, and so you build it pretty much from the ground up, huh?
Well, we didn't complete the van. She's going to need some studs and walls and stuff. But to be able to get it set up so that she can charge her phone, have light at night, down the road, right? One of the things she's still looking for is a 12-volt refrigerator. But imagine being able to have a refrigerator that serves your food while it's solarized by the sun up on your roof. And it's a van and it's moving.
Right. You're off the grid completely. You don't have to worry about paying rent. You got your own mobile living quarters.
The next step would be making it like biodiesel, where you could go to restaurants, get their oil, filter it out, because there are engines that will run on it. We're just learning so many things. Right now they're working about hydrogen and oxygen, somehow separating them and creating this new fuel. I've just been reading about it in the last couple of days.
You mean the hydrogen stuff?
No, it's different. That's old.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, so this is different than the hydrogen cell.
Oh, it is. Yes, and it's. I guess the offset of splitting atoms gives you more energy back or something. I don't. But they're literally saying that in the next couple of years we're going to have new engines in cars that will be able to use this. So we're breaking away from petroleum. And that was another thing about the festival. I really want to congratulate all the people who listened when we asked them, bring your own plate, fork, knife, spoon, cup. We will give you $2 off your first meal. And we gave them a really nice, cool, little glossy stone. And I don't even think everybody even turned the stones in. They weren't worried about it. They were just so happy to not have to deal with garbage and paper plates and plastic spoons and forks and stuff that sucks.
Mm-hmm.
And we were very fortunate to have John Lee Rooker, who is another coordinator who offers Perma Jam, which is going to be happening in July. And he brought me his, 60, 80 sets of dishes and all. And then his workshop, actually his festival is going to be July 13th, 14th, 15th. I want to get that in for him, but they're going to have to, it's a private event, so they're going to have to reach out to me. But in any case, these people bringing their plates and doing this, other people who didn't know about it are asking the question, well, how does that work? Because they're so used to going to the food truck and getting stuff in wax-coated paper or styrofoam that you're going to throw away. And they're asking, do you guys have a plate? And we're like, sure. So we give them a plate, and all we asked was that they washed it afterwards. Take responsibility. That's not normally done in all festivals. People to be able to actually see that you don't just throw it away, that there's an end responsibility. You know, you show up with some money, you buy some food, but now you wash your plate. And they did it. They did it gladly. I mean, the comments on, actually one person said having food on real dishes made the food taste better. Think about that for a moment.
Yeah.
We weren't selling pizza on a paper plate, gooing all over the plate. No. We were selling healthy, organic, vegan food, which by itself challenged some people because people are like, well, what if I don't like it? Or I've never tried vegan before, or, you know, any potential unsureness. And by the end, they were going, I'm changing my diet. I'm going to at least try to include some more of this. These are the testimonials that blow me away, that people saw that we can create an archetype event for 3 days, be responsible, set it up, take it down, but give people all these healthy options. Because even the vendors were handpicked. You know, if a vendor made their own soaps, I asked, are they organic? Because you're selling soy candles or something that's GMO, I don't know. And they would, you know, I honor them and trust them. They say, oh, yeah, absolutely, because they put together an integral, is that the right thing? Integral product, a product with integrity. There you go. For them to do that made it even more valuable to the people who are walking around. One of my vendors, Hope, third year, she goes to Nepal, she goes to Indonesia. She meets in the villages. She speaks with the ladies who sew. She says, this is what I need, this is what I want. She buys right into their economy, and then she brings them back and sells them. And they're reasonably priced. But she's not going through a middleman, somebody paying slave wages, none of that. We have people who make their own tinctures, everything from tick repellent to sunscreen related. You can't really do sunscreen unless you do the non-oxalate and all that. But anyway, aftercare, definitely things like you get a bee sting, you got psoriasis. These people had products that are not something you normally buy in a grocery store. And yet these are tried and true remedies. And our society doesn't promote that. We'd rather promote the pharmaceutical industry, but at the festival, that's not allowed. The closest you can come is having some essential oils from a brand name company that may be international, but you better know your product. And do a workshop. Show us why. Show us why. And teach us, not this year, but the last year, we had a workshop on how to make your own homemade cleaning supplies. I mean, some of it was easy, baking soda and vinegar. But you could also scent it the way you want to scent it. Why would you buy a store scent that has a chemical nature that shoves up into your nasal and blocks your, like a Glade scent? These things that touch on your hairs and wax coat them And why not have a real aroma? And you could pick the aroma. If you like lavender, go for lavender. If you prefer peppermint, peppermint's cool too. And again, that's something that they're not necessarily lost arts, but they certainly aren't practiced a lot anymore. Grandma did them, but somewhere
in some ways, do you see your festival as a returning to a more, I don't know, an ancient way of living?
I'll absolutely agree, because some of the demonstrations we had were glass blowing, working with tools that don't require electricity. Last year we had metal smithing. We had a blacksmith on site. Last year we had a tiny house. I mean, we're combining new with proven old that should not be lost. I would love to see a workshop where you walked in and somebody showed you how to attach a sheet of sheetrock, throw in a coat of spackle and tape. Maybe the next board over would already be dry, and show you how to sand it. And then there would be an open wall portion where there would be an outlet that's going to be wired for a switch, and maybe a box down below for an actual outlet. And then a little bit to the right will be some copper plumbing that was partially plumbed, and you would learn how to do some basic plumbing or repair a faucet. I would love to have secondhand bicycles. So, yeah, there's a mixed vision, because it's tried and true, and then definitely the recycle, respect Mother Earth component. But then there's the embrace the new, like having solar panels.
Hi, Dave. Let me break in for a moment. Leticia has just joined us.
Excellent.
Hello.
Hey, welcome, Leticia.
Thank you. I'm so glad and happy to hear you sharing what you have put together with Touch Mother Earth, and I'm so happy and honored to be a part of it.
Could you share a little bit, because you've been there more than once. This year was very different, having the opening ceremony. How did that set the tone? What actually happened? Because you were performing. You were leading.
Well, thanks to the invitation of Akinyele and setting up the opening ceremony and the intention that we wanted to bring into the space, based on the circumstances and situations and where we find ourselves at this time, and at Mount Eden as well, and everybody that's involved. And Akinyele was very strong in regards to the trees and the life that trees bring into that space, and also the impact that trees have in our life. And so creating a space in regards to planting a seed, and how amazing and powerful it is how we plant the seed, and how we take the time to care for that seed as we plant it and put it the intentions, and we see it grow, and it can grow into a beautiful flower, a beautiful tree, and it gives back to us, right? And the concept about planting the seed is it's full of possibilities. Whatever it is that we're putting in the seed, it could be also in regards to what we plant in our thoughts as a seed, our intentions within a outcome, a situation we find ourselves is planting the seeds, and just doing what it is that we need to do, and just show up, and so sometimes we know that planting seeds bring food and the trees and all these variety of flowers. Right. And but just taking the time of connecting to that energy, a seed is a star is a seed, and just being conscious of that and bringing that connection, interconnection with the seed and with the tree, that has taken years and years to grow, and be conscious of that living essence that nature has around us, right? And so I was very honored to be a part of it, and overwhelming, because I know how important ceremony is. And it's not about, being very serious, but it's a responsibility of sharing the information and the intention in community, and planting a seed within each and every one that's present, right? Because then they go back into their community, into their families, into their work environment. And so that's what ceremony could be very powerful in just creating a sacred space, and then for everybody to be in that sacred space, and then at one point everybody goes their own way, right? And so I'm very happy to hear very positive comments about the impact that some people took with them, right? And it's beautiful.
Were just so many. What was one of your? I was asked by Alan. What was one of your most memorable things that happened over the weekend?
Well,
something that you just never expected.
I actually, there was a vendor there that was doing an activation, and I try not to go with a set expectation of what I'm going to do and plan out, even though I'm curious who's going to be there, I'm going to go here, I'm going to go there. But I've learned sometimes that if I need a space to just, tune out and just be present, sometimes it can turn out in a way that just sharing with everybody, getting to know them, hugs and smiles, and so that was quite an interesting experience for me, because then I enjoyed the music. I just enjoyed being outdoors. I enjoyed seeing everybody interact with each other. I enjoyed conversation. I enjoyed just having my time there with my daughter, Gabriela, and seeing how of an impact it's bringing into her life and what she's learning and taking with her as she develops into whatever it is that she's learning.
Well, exactly, because over the end of the weekend, she had found some new friends.
Yes. And the wonderful thing is that it is in a space that it's family. It's family. Everybody gets to know each other, and it's a space where you feel very comfortable, very secure. There is no. It's like time stops when you're there, and nothing else matters but just being present to whatever's going on there. And I think that for me, it was a really positive recharge. And then taking away the message about planting seeds, it gives me a different perspective of how to approach whatever difficult situation and overwhelming stress and work. And I forgot all about that when I was there, enjoying just being there. Even sitting down, and it was such a beautiful weather also, considering that it was, we had rain forecast, and I believe it rained on Friday evening, and then it was the rest of the weekend was pretty clear, which was
for
amazing.
20 minutes on Friday, and we went ahead and run outside anyway. But yeah.
I think there was an 80% chance of a rain.
But we had the bubble. Akinyele held that bubble. The community held that bubble. We put that ceremony on Friday. We protected that area. And it's hard to explain to people unless you are there and actually experiencing it. People are going, is it raining? No, not here. Not here.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't believe it. But we really were in a... I like what you said, where time kind of stood still. It was something about... There were definitely very little cares about the outside world. certainly politics was gone, and blah, 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 blah. Maybe you're worried about your cat, your dog, your mom, or somebody, but when you were in that moment, we just, I know this is going to sound hippie-ish, but it was like one big hug.
Mhm. Mhm.
I mean, seeing the joy of those kids running around, playing on the swings, the seesaw, and then the crafts that they were doing, which were not your simple crafts. Michelle Kenya did her great workshops. It was the nightly drumming blew my mind. When Akanyele took on Ogun on Saturday night and brought in the power, and he walked around with counterclockwise, beat a beat, 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 all the way around with the axe. And once he had everybody's attention, that was Tom Basile's idea. Tom said, you got to be there for the crowd. We're we like Friday, I guess. I don't know. No, but I nearly had 3 minutes to prepare. He just went in and just brought us all together after having a wonderful day, plus including the concerts at night in the barn, in the temple barn, and then going down and lighting a fire, and for him to just bring it all forward.
I have to agree with you. I know it's awesome when we have a drum circle and the fire and so forth, and everybody is in tune with playing and feeling the rhythm and so forth. But then when you bring in conscious knowledge and we unite through the message of whomever's leading, it brings us even closer together in regards to being conscious about, for instance, the heartbeat and how important that is. And
that's very true.
Taking the time to be conscious about that.
Yep. I mean, the way he tells
so
you
the
to
rhythm,
your heart.
Yeah.
That is tribe right there. Everybody all connected to him, asking us to hit our heart. In a positive.
So Dave, I sorry to cut you off there a little bit. I'm not really sorry, but I'd just say I'm sorry. We actually have a couple other people who joined us.
Perfect.
And so great. I'd like to bring out Madame X and also John Lee Rooker. So they're both live.
Oh, they're both. Oh, perfect. We would love to
Good
hear
evening.
them both. Madam X, thank you. Hey, John. So sweet to hear you both.
Hey, Alan, everybody. Happy Father's Day, Dave. All the fathers out there, too.
Indeed. Happy Father's Day.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I think if we could do this, Madam X, we have been talking about the opening ceremony. Perhaps you could talk about something that struck you over the weekend that you had not thought about, and then your approach to closing ceremony. And then we'll go to John, because that's where the aftercare comes. We're going to move all this energy to PermaJam 2018.
Yeah.
Well,
so Madam X.
Something unexpected that happened. Well, I had been to the festival before, 2 years in a row, so I sort of knew what to expect. Wonderful vendors, terrific artists, great individuals that share their ideas for the environment and for energy saving the earth, as well as growing with an awareness to be keepers of the earth. So it certainly did not disappoint this year. It was fantastic. I really, really enjoyed the opening ceremony, and I particularly enjoyed the meditation with Michelle Kenya, as you mentioned, right before the closing ceremony. I thought it was...
a lot of people were in that barn. They went from drumming and dancing to meditation. That was amazing.
It was fantastic, and it was
Dana McCurdy was going overtime, and then Michelle's in there with all these people, and they're like, let's dance!
Well, it was about connectivity, because you really can't save our planet if you don't connect with each other and look into each other's eyes and understand this connectivity that we have, not just with ourselves, but with each other and with everything around us. We are one, not just we people, but everything, right?
We're one big
Earth,
organism.
the Mother Earth. Exactly. So that's why I particularly enjoyed the meditation ceremony. It put me in the right frame of mind to do our closing work.
Wow. And then your
What
closing...
was unexpected was perhaps the weather a little bit right before our ceremony. So the coolness kind of affected my wardrobe, my plans for body paint, and But
we were expecting rain. Yeah, we were.
Right. So you have to go with the flow, right? You just have to kind of be flexible enough to improvise, right? So I was very honored. It's very important to be able to do that. So I was very honored and very proud to be part of the closing ceremony for this wonderful 3-day transformative journey in this festival. Environmentalism, sustainability, ecology, mindfulness, personal empowerment. This is all great, just wonderful. So thank you, Dave, for having me aboard. It was terrific.
Well, thank you, Madam X. And now, John, you were there.
Hey.
You helped me start this while I was helping you start yours, because we're both going on 3 years now. And you have been one of my best supports, because we could talk to each other. There was no competitiveness. We're both doing positive events, and how could we support one another? And now this year, we're going to be able to donate our stage over in your direction, possibly the power cable as well. And why not? Why aren't we should be sharing these things? And you brought dishes down to me. You brought dishes that blew people's minds, but it made the vendors happy. I'm going to tell you, self-love, oh, my God, they were so happy to have this whole stack of dishes. They were like, they were serving it. What you want? You want a small plate, big plate, They were like, you want a bowl, whatever, we got it all.
Yeah.
They really picked up on the message, and Pat Miller did. We had a washing station. To kind of figure it out, like when you're done, you got to take responsibility. You just made a dirty dish, right? That's where the wake-up call comes in. But that's where you and I are on the same page.
Yeah.
Tell me about your festival. Tell us about your festival.
Yeah, Dave, I feel like our festivals are really on the same page in so many ways, and I feel like we're also learning from each other too, like having an opening ceremony, which is also a big part of Permajam, It's actually like the Permajam, the way I see it, has a spirit all of its own. And it's evolving and it's changing. And I'll just say about it that it's really becoming less of a festival and more of a land blessing ceremony that's really inspired a lot by traditional Native American ceremonies, which are done for 4 years at a time. So we're doing these 4-year land blessing ceremonies, and the ceremony is actually creating permaculture ecosystems on these lands. So there's really a great component of active participation in transforming the landscape together, and in doing that, we're learning a lot, you know. And one of the things I really love about your festival, Dave, is like just in the name, it says so much. Touch Mother Earth. It says unity. It says we're all a part of this, and it's about getting back to our roots. And I feel like that's where our festivals or our events are really similar. We're about getting back to our roots, and it's just something that we all come from, that tribal way, connected to the earth. And
you and I have been blessed that we share some of the same vendors. I mean, you had the Blacksmith last year who followed from my festival, and the same thing with Get Juiced. These are people we want to support. They have, whether it be fermentation of food, working with metal, these are the roots that you're feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. The skill sharing and solutions, our festivals are about celebration and about solutions, because a lot of people come to me and say, hey, John, what are we going to do? It's a scary time. There's so many things that are falling apart and so much destruction. But I say, it's going to be whatever we make it. It can be a beautiful time. It can be a time where we celebrate and we remember who we are, where we come from, and we focus together on creating and the solutions, and I really appreciate that about your festival, Touch Mother Earth, that there's a strong focus on solution and having a good time, for these children and for the community to celebrate. So I commend you and I thank you for doing something beautiful like that for the community, because we do need to celebrate. While there's so much, scary things in the world, there's also so much to celebrate every day. Just being a human being in connection with Mother Earth and connection with each other. And, we need each other, in order to remember that celebration. So I just saw so much at your event of people really just expanding, just being around each other in a safe space where, they can, talk spiritually or, talk about the earth and the issues and solutions. Like people were just, their hearts were blowing wide open, and I could feel that there. And it was really beautiful. And it's the same vibe that we
I am just discovering the Permajam Festival. I'm looking on Facebook, and I discovered your page. Is this a festival in New Jersey, or where is it? Where is the location of this festival?
So
the festival that we just. You want to introduce the guest? Go ahead, Alan.
What?
Well, the person who is just calling. It's a new caller, correct? Hello, I'm Dave.
Nobody's on here that hasn't been introduced.
Somebody just asked.
This is Madam X, and I was just speaking to John about the Permajam Festival, and I was just mentioning that I am on the Facebook page.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. John, talk about Permajam.
Right.
Yes.
Right. But I didn't get the location. Where is the festival at, and where can I find more information?
Absolutely. So thank you so much for this opportunity to talk about it. The last 2 years we did the festival in New Jersey, but this year we are beginning a 4-year land blessing ceremony in Bloomingburg, New York, which is near Middletown, New York. And it's a beautiful 125 acres. We have a 4-year vision to take people through an entire permaculture experience, from the first year being observation of the land, learning how to read the landscape through a permaculture lens. The second year being the permaculture design, and for the whole 125 acres, creating an entire integrated design. And then the third and fourth year really being focused on implementing and creating that design. So this is a 4-year vision that we have for this land, which is just beautiful. It has a river flowing through it around 3.5 miles of the land, and it's such clean water that you can go swimming in it and fishing, and it's just really wonderful. There's horses up there, and we've started to build gardens up there. I'm up on the land every weekend, just volunteering and helping to create the gardens, and the people from Permajam have been coming up every weekend too. So it's really a beautiful land that through this event, we're working to connect people to this land and to this place to give them a sanctuary where they can come and participate in the transformation. And one of the big visions behind PermaJam is that, you know, the issues that we have environmentally as a reflection of the issues that we have as a collective, as a society, and that as we're transforming the land, we're also transforming ourselves. That's a mirror that's being reflected to us. So as we come to this festival or event year after year and we're transforming the land, we're also seeing a lot of transformation in our community and the individuals that come.
That's beautiful, John.
That's wonderful. It sounds terrific. You know, I wasn't even aware of what permaculture was until very recently, when I noticed that it was included in my son's summer program. So we're traveling abroad to Europe, and he's doing a summer program. And in the summer program, listing of all the different things that they're going to discover and explore and have hands-on experience, it said permaculture. And I was like, permaculture? I have to look this up. I don't even know what this is.
Yeah.
So I think it's very serendipitous that, you know, you're calling and you're talking about this festival, which is just about the very same thing that I had to discover.
Yeah.
So this is exciting. So it's in Orange County, New York.
Exactly.
Oh, you found it already. I just invited her, actually, on Facebook.
Yeah, terrific. Thank you, guys.
Yeah,
I think
absolutely.
it's so wonderful that we do these festivals because it really unites people.
John and I don't just share vision. You know, we do share materials, but we also share volunteers or vendors or whatever. And, like, we had, I think our first year, 10 people went. Last year, like 14 or something went. I mean, Dominic was up there, Shannon was up there, Mish was up there, blah, 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 blah. And then this year, there was a huge PermaJam side visiting our festival. And now that tribe is just doubly connected. Now we got two really strong energies that now have been to either both each other's events once or twice, or maybe three. Well, going to be 3 times for yours. That is a trust.
Yeah.
Hey, give your dates. Can you give your dates?
Yeah, PermaJam
July 12th,
will be
right?
July 12th through the 15th, yeah. And I'll just say a couple more things about it, is that we're really scaling it back to create a model that we can do throughout the year on different lands, because there's a lot of communities, a lot of farmlands that want to bring PermaJam to it. So we're creating smaller events that we can do throughout the year, that we don't drive ourselves crazy organizing. And just a really amazing thing that Madam X brought up is that she had only recently heard about permaculture. So for those people out there who are listening that don't know what permaculture is, I'll just give the most basic definition of it, which is a permanent agriculture. So an agriculture system that mimics a real ecosystem that's regenerative and is permanent. And so basically, we describe PermaJam as a prayer for the earth and for the next generations. And just by coming to this event and participating, you're leaving something that's going to be permanent for the next generations to enjoy. And that right there is a living prayer, an active prayer for the future generations. So I'll just say that much about it. And again,
what's
thank
something
you.
they could do when they show up at your event? Can they help you plant? Or weed or learn?
Yeah, they can help us plant. They can help us to there's a lot of ways that people are helping out, you know, and helping in the kitchen, helping with the sweat lodges, helping in the gardens, creating beds. And then this year, being that the focus is observation through a permaculture lens, just by going on a walk with us and looking at the landscape with us, you might be able to contribute by telling us something that you're seeing that we didn't see in the landscape. Maybe you'll, you know, see something that the water is doing or that the trees are doing or the sunlight, and it might be something we didn't know.
Right.
You know? So it's beautiful that we all get to contribute creatively to the design of this 125 acres of land.
John, that's part of the talking stick. I so much appreciate that you say that. Like, somebody could go, wait a minute, I know what that bird is, and people had no idea, and that person knew what bird that was, and they teach everybody something at that moment because they were empowered. They were not told, don't speak, you're on a tour, the tour guide's speaking, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
I mean, really, think about it. We all explore things with different lenses.
Mm-hmm.
And when we're able to see with our lens what another person is seeing, that's true brotherhood, sisterhood, togetherhood, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
John, this is good. Alan, do we have anybody else on?
Actually, we have a caller with a question. Can I bring him on?
Sure.
Hello. Hi,
Hello.
hi, Neo. What's your question?
Yes. So first off, thank you so much for allowing me to be on the air. And Dave, this is Neo. I did a workshop at Touch Mother Earth. I saw your invite, so thank you for inviting me. I was sad I missed most of it though. But,
well, you'll be able to rehear it later.
Sorry?
It'll be on YouTube. You'll be able to rehear the whole convo.
Oh,
but
wonderful.
yeah, what was something that struck you most when you were? Well, what's your question? I'm sorry.
Sure. Well, then I just come on. I thoroughly enjoy this vision that you've created, and to personally be a part of it, I feel that it's a shared vision. Because I've had similar visions myself, and it's like, wow, it's actually being created, and I can jump on board and be a part of it somehow. And I would love the opportunity, and I guess my question would be, what would be the best way to start finding that collaborative synergy so that we are able to share in our resources and our specializations, and like you said, being able to allow for other perspectives to see something that you may not have seen. And I'm looking forward to how we can find that relationship. And
so, to answer the first portion of that question, for those who are on Facebook, I have ongoing pages that offer a variety of in-depth healing options. So, for example, body harmonics would allow somebody. And don't go over the body harmonics in Canada. Body harmonics, Dave Miller. It will show you articles of things that help us to align everything from our chakras, our breathing, our Reiki, all these energy events that occur that are vibrational level, helping us heal. Then, parallel to that, I have Earth Movers, one word, Drum Collective. An Earth Movers Drum Collective will include some articles on how drumming helps affect our brain and our whole healing of our body, but it might include some drum videos, some lessons, some scientific articles. Again, they both rarely do they overlap, but because I try to keep them separate, but they both have this healing function built into them. Now, if you simply want to know news.
What was your presentation on?
I'm sorry. What was that a question for me?
I'm going to wait for the bell to end.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay. No, I'm at the hospital, so I'm sorry for that. So what was the question? Was it for Dave or was it for me? I didn't hear that either.
Well, the original question was to me, but we did get off track. But you called in. You had a question about the event itself.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And this whole vision, I missed most of what you said, and I'm sad that I did, but I will replay it back. And thank you for sharing the resources. I'd love to connect further on that. And I guess what's the best way to plug into this movement, into this vision that you're doing, and how can we create that synergy? Because instead I have certain specializations that and research that I'd like to contribute and add. as I did in the workshop, and I'm looking forward to future things that you're planning for this. It's a beautiful thing, and I feel that all hands on deck are necessary for this to truly come to fruition, because it's not just you're heading a part of it, but we all have a part that we can contribute, because it's a shared, it's a community build, and being at this stage,
it's a movement, and there are many. There's no leaders. There are many leaders. It's people find what they want to do, but we want the shift regardless. Some people are natural leaders. Some people prefer to just do the grunt work. It's as simple as that, and it's not in a bad way. People will move in a positive direction, and yes, we're on the ground floor. But I'm glad that other people like John are doing it. I'm seeing it at Karma Fest, seeing it at Love Light. Conscious festivals are one way of spreading the message, but it's not really a fully conscious festival unless you're including some permaculture or sustainable living practices into it.
Hey, Dave, I have a question for you.
Sure.
You say ground floor. Now, if we're at the ground floor, what's the next step? Where where do you see this all in the next 18 months, 2 years? What is and not just your vision for your event, but maybe the culture sprouting up around this in general?
Here would be a good prediction. It's probably more on the wish list than absolute, but we actually have a governor who does like to make some social changes, and if we were to start allowing tiny villages to be built, that would be the biggest step in the right direction I can imagine right now. And I don't mean that you litter the land with all these. I don't know, John. You want to answer that?
Tiny villages. Wow, it's very inspiring to think about that. Just from Permajam's awareness, from my awareness of the doors that are opening for us as organizers, is that there's a lot of lands that want to bring this energy there, and there are people that own these lands, although me personally don't believe in ownership of land. There are people that own these lands legally that are having trouble. They don't know what to do with it. They need help with it. They need a village. It takes a village to take care and steward the land like the native people did long ago. It takes a community to raise children. So these events that we're organizing are actually helping to create a grid, a really solid community base that is going to come up with creative ways to have these types of community gatherings happen all year round. I mean, we should be touching Mother Earth and permajamming all day, every day, for my opinion, and we can do it, but we need the land, and we need to create homes on that land, and those people have the land, need help, and I see us moving towards that, and opportunities are available like that at the land in Bloomingburg, New York, and I also see opportunities like that being available at the places where Touch Mother Earth has been to. So I want to put that out there for people that are listening to be creative in how to make that a reality so that we can have these celebrations and live in that beautiful, sustainable way every day.
You know what I've always thought would be a great thing to do? I always thought it'd be great to get a. You know how you have these developers that buy land to put up shopping centers and stuff, but do the opposite. Get a group together and buy this land and turn it back into land and get rid of the shopping center or get rid of the mall and just make it a green space again.
I had a question. This is Neil, and if I may. Now, it seems like in order for this to, and the whole sustainability, right? So you have a lot of ideas to be able to keep a consistency of this movement. You know, when you have permajams and Touch Mother Earth all year long, and that's one idea, is one aspect of that. But I feel another part of the sustainable aspect is to create these systems in place to sustain people, to sustain those who are in the village, the families, the workers, the grunt, everyone was a part of that. And now, are you guys in consideration of using the land for other purposes as well, like actual, gardening, farming, to even hemp product? Hemp is huge now, and that's a way where you have the people that are part of this tribe, part of this community, working with it, and also creating a stream of wealth through that as a sustainable product that's being offered in the service to the community and on a large scale even. So has there been any talks about what other ways, what other streams would be able to sustain these projects? Because these one-off festivals are great. It's beautiful to come together and commune like that. But there's also have to be other systems in place to fuel those projects.
So I can speak for myself, having brought in an investor to the property first in January, and then after it not being isolated with snow and all that, came into and saw it as this whole village. In between, he had already started to formulate a plan. And it's not costly to what the earth is already there. So his first thought was there is a huge field. It's like 5 or 6 football fields together. And at the top, put in a simple school. It would have 18 dormitories or 18 rooms and a kitchen, a full-size kitchen, and then a meeting room, a meeting hall, plus, of course, the bathrooms. But most of that field would be fenced with deer fencing, and they would plant an orchard, and they would start a CSA. So with that community shared activity, they would pull from Warren County College, they would tap into Rutgers, they maybe go across into Easton, maybe up to Hackettstown. So they already did the demographics. They looked at what are the populations around this area that we can build a sustainable living school. This teaching about, at least from the plant, but you would also be able to go out and have classes and identify all the wild plants. You could be learning medicinal tinctures. So this festival would actually be going on all year long by these classes. And that is the investor that I really hope is going to be able to buy this place.
Oh. So, Dave, we've wandered off and explored some subjects that really deserve much more in-depth conversation. So, and what I'd like to do in the interest of time is you and I had talked about sort of an aftercare idea. Okay, Touch Mother Earth happened. Okay, festival, Permajam happened. Okay, the next one for you happens in August, the 24th to the 26th. But what we wanted to do, and what you did a little bit, was to give people contacts so that they can take responsibility to find other events. They can have their own events. If they have their own events, they can list them with you, or they can let you know that they exist and you can list them. So you had talked about the set of Facebook pages that you have. And
Good.
The set of Facebook pages are Body Harmonics, Earth Movers, One Word Drum Collective.
All right, so let's go into the other ones.
The 2 pages that you hadn't talked about was Touch Mother Earth News, which is solutions and other news items. And then when people would schedule
community
an event,
news, Touch Mother Earth, community news.
Right. So basically, and the last one is the events. So if
Touch Mother Earth events,
if I've gone to the Touch Mother Earth Festival, and or if I haven't gone to the Touch Mother Earth Festival, but I'm doing something sort of like getting the community together. Maybe we're going to talk about gardening. Maybe we're going to talk about all healthier choices to eat. Those are certainly things that are in line with Touch Mother Earth's feelings and thoughts and moving forward. And that would be on Touch Mother Earth events, and it would be something that
if it's an activity
start
related to promoting, it'll be on events. If it's more on the side of a document, something to read, something to view, that would be on community news. So Touch Mother's community news will give you healing advice, but Touch Mother Earth community events will tell you where to go and do it.
Right. So, I think everybody has. I think we've covered what we wanted to cover when we sort of set out to do this. But what I'd like you to think about for a minute, or I think you've written them down, I'd like you to thank your sponsors for their help this year.
Well, the very first sponsor was actually Antinanco Earth Art School, which you can find, I believe it's AntinancoEarthArtsSchool.org. I'll pull it up. I'm on the page right now. My friend Olga Scher acted not only as an advocator for the festival, but she was also willing to, put in financial contribution just to make sure the mission was moved forward. And then one of the blessings, they were the ones that did that solar power for Mirabai. So you could see that we help each other in ways that they don't necessarily have dollar amounts, they have missions. We're trading a voucher. I vouch for you, you vouch for me, and we'll do something for each other. And it's as simple as that. It's one of the most beautiful things you can do, and yet we're not allowed to barter.
Okay. Is that all the sponsors that you had?
Sorry, pages finally came up. We're pulling it down. So, Eagle Tent Rentals was really cool. That was over the stage and the sound man, and also our whole entryway. We checked in, and those guys came in and did absolutely everything they promised. All the chairs, the table, extra tables and stuff all came from them. Then we had Russell Reed, Porta John. That was they gave me a good price. Organic Valley was really awesome because Organic Valley offers vegan and vegetarian options, but people won coupons that they could get like 13 weeks, I think, of free food or something. So there's a certain value to each of the coupons. Then Morning Sun is the one that provided us with the Morning Sun provided us with tea. She did a wonderful workshop, one of the best attended. People learned all about Ayurvedic and, just like the Chinese medicine, what would you take in your body, how you feel, damp, hot, cold, etc. And then what can you grow in your garden to do it? So you already have it. You create your own apothecary. Road Shower donated a solarized shower that ended up going to the woman that we solarized her van. And then myself, Earth Movers, and last but not least, Auntie Carla Haynes from the Garden Healing Yoga and Wellness Center, who has just the very least, emotional support, and probably the strongest. Her ability to just bring a crew and see it done and have fun. That's she brings her kids, and her kids are adults, and they understand that this is like we're talking about. We're going the 7 generations. We're connecting 3 generations apart. You got to have the grandmother, the mother, and the kid all have to see how we're doing this positivity, so they can pass it on to the next. John Lee, you still there?
Yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah,
you understand what I'm talking about. We're not just teaching skills or anything. We're teaching basics that everybody should know. Everybody should know how to change a tire. Everybody should know how to put a diaper on. Everybody should know how to fix a faucet. These are not idiot things. We can all learn these things. But we need to remember to share them, because they get lost. If your parents didn't do it, you're probably not going to know how to do it. So let's create a simple school where you can do it maybe while you're living on a farm.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
You come day 1, we'll show you how to fix the wheel on the broken cart. Day 2, we'll show you how to turn the motor on and go drive. On day 3, you'll be collecting hay. On day 4, we'll say, electric out, something over here. Come here, watch me. I'm going to show you how to change a light switch or an outlet, whatever. That is everyday living.
Uh-huh.
We should all be in school all the time for fun, but helping each other, pay it forward.
Yeah, like you said, that you can come to these events and take what you've gained there with you out into the world and apply it to your family, yourself, your community, to the earth. And it's a good way to think about it, and it's a good way to focus as a community while we're together, to learn together and share valuable wisdom and knowledge that is very much basic human living. That is what made this world go round, humanity get to where we are today. And we can keep going, but we have to return to the basic, common knowledge that we once shared.
Thank you, John. Thank you, John.
Yeah.
Thank you, Madam Max. You guys, Leticia, are you still there?
No, Leticia and Madame X are off.
That's all right. But each of you really spoke from your heart. I could feel the energy that each of you received. That's where Namaste is. My eyes see your eyes see my eyes too. Your heart sees my heart sees your heart too. And I am one in you, you're one in me. And we have that vision, we have that goal, and we have to just keep moving forward.
Namaste, bro.
Well, on that note, it's been a great program. I'd like to thank everybody who was on the show. Do you have any last comments, Dave?
Well, try to at least go to touchmotherearth.com. But if you want to email me, touchmotherearthevents at gmail.com. And I'm putting together a MailChimp list. I will be able to share people who don't do Facebook. Otherwise, find me on Touch Mother Earth Events at Facebook.
Hey, John, how do people get in contact with you or find your event?
People can email me at permajamfam, like family, permajamfam at gmail.com. Like I said, like me and Dave mentioned, this is a private event. It's done through word of mouth, so we're not out there promoting it. So just get in touch with us. That's the best way.
And Neil, is there any contact information you want to give, or you're not there yet?
Yes, well, I'm connected with both Dave and Johnny on Facebook, but I would love to connect with anyone who's a part of this vision, this new family that is being birthed through this. Like, it truly it's exciting. So thank you so much. Yes, I'm on Facebook, Jeffrey GEOFFREY, and Orozco.
Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. I'll type it in. You spell it again. Slowly.
Sure, it's Jeffrey, GEOFF like Frank, REY, ORO, Z like zebra, T like cat, O. Jeffrey Orozco. Yes, sir.
Right, Jeffrey Orozco.
Thank you so much for having me on the line, and I'm just thank you.
The last name was OROZCO?
Yes, sir.
All right. Good. I found you. And I would be honored to have you. I think the first thing would be for you is to touch Mother Earth community news, because it doesn't matter where you live. It connects you with healing, what we're following, what we're believing in, what we're we're already friends.
Yeah, no, I was a part of it, and you did my first workshop. You allowed me to do my first workshop.
I'm sorry. I didn't realize who it was. You were the fill-in. That was the beauty.
Yes.
So, okay, you came in with some expectations, maybe being able to do it, maybe not, because we were still pretty iffy for a while. And all of a sudden you were able to do it. How did that turn from, like, are you ready to go on stage? Because you're performing your art, your heart, your heart chakras. So what was it like for you?
I felt so natural in that space when people had the intention and trust to allow me to take them on that journey. It was a meditation, visualization, clearing with kind of shamanic principles. There's some rattling sage, and it was so beautiful. And I will never, ever forget that first experience in that way, because I've done speaking engagements before, I've done meditation groups before, but in this way, it was so much different because of the community atmosphere, and I've never done it that way before. So to answer your question, yes, I'm a speaker as it is now. I lead workshops, seminars, and I'm looking to do something at Permajam with John Lee. I sent him a proposal to do something over there, so yes, I am ready. I'm the front runner of this vision that I have for myself and my business, and if I can find ways to have mutual benefit movement towards this, then yes, even better. The more the merrier. Let's do this together, and I'm doing it on my end, and it's a perfect timing to connect with what you guys are doing because I'm looking to hit the ground running.
Yeah. Well, thank you, bro.
Well,
all right.
We're all waking up at some different levels whenever it is, but we are. Thank you, Alan, for hosting us.
Thank you. So thanks, everyone. My name is Alan Ritter. This has been another episode of An Emerging Forest. I run a small produce company co-op in the southern New Jersey and Philadelphia area called the Produce Club. You can get in touch with me at my email, ritter@alan88@gmail.com, or you can go to produceclub.us, which will take you to a Facebook page. I'd like to thank David Miller, John Lee Rooker, Neo, a.k.a. Jeffrey, Madame X, Letitia, and David Whitman for being on the show tonight. Have a good night, everyone.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right, good night.